What's up, Market Family? Welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be sharing a bunch of solar light DIYs and hacks that are perfect for summer. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a sun emoji in the comments. It helps the video out. I work very hard on my videos. I don't just bring you guys basic DIYs. I try really hard with my stuff, and so if you enjoy it, please leave that sun emoji. With that being said, let's begin.
We're going to start off with these new solar lanterns that Dollar Tree recently got in. They are the best solar lights Dollar Tree has ever carried. You will also need a hula hoop for this DIY and some pool noodles. I would go with any of their green pool noodles. You're going to take a knife and cut through your pool noodle. Don't cut through the entire thing, just half of it. That way you can wrap this around your hula hoop. You will need at least 2 pool noodles to do this. One of them you're just going to cut a little bit shorter, so you'll have half left over. I'm going to use duct tape to attach the pool noodles together so they stay on top of the hula hoop and don't fall off. You can get duct tape at Dollar Tree. I would have used a green one if I had it. I just used white because that was what I had on hand. Now I got some garland from Amazon. I'll link it down below for you guys. Dollar Tree carries garland. You can use Dollar Tree garland. You can use Dollar Tree floral. It's completely up to you. I chose to use this because I feel like you get more bang for your buck and it looks nicer. I grab a zip tie, tie one end of the garland into place, wrap it around the pool noodle, and then tie the other end of garland into place so it doesn't go anywhere. I got some floral picks. I'm going to cut them off of the wire bunch and then start pushing that through the pool noodle. I really like this purple bunch that I got. This is from Michael's. I wanted to add a touch of glam to this DIY, so I got some gold leaves and flowers. I'm going to go ahead and push those through the pool noodles as well. On some of the flowers, I did have to glue them into place, so keep that in mind. Before I continue putting any of the floral pieces inside of this, I'm going to grab this plant hanger from Dollar Tree, and I'm going to use zip ties to attach the ends of the plant hangers to my pool noodle. We're going to be making a floral chandelier, and this is going to make it so that we can hang it from wherever we want to. I got these beaded necklaces from Dollar Tree, and this is actually what's going to be holding all of my lanterns. So what I do is I open up one of the necklaces, zip tie the end to my pool noodle, and then I put in my first lantern. And I'm just kind of weaving it in and out of the pool noodle and putting a lantern here and there. With this laying down, I tried to gauge how long I want the lanterns to hang. And as I put zip ties here and there to keep the beads in place, I don't tie it too tight. That way when I hang this, I can move around the necklaces, figure out where they should be actually laying, and then zip tie really hard to make sure the necklaces don't move around. If I want to attach 2 of the necklaces together, there's this little plastic piece that you can use to push onto one necklace and then the other, making a longer necklace. Or you can just use individual necklaces to hold each lantern. At this point, you're going to want to hang the chandelier. That way you can figure out if the lanterns are at the right length for you, and then you're going to go in with more floral or greenery, whatever you have on hand, and fill in any areas that you miss where there's still pool noodles showing, or if you want to add more color. I decided to add some purple roses and some white flowers. The purple roses had some leaves that I took off, and I was able to glue them in places where I felt like there was just too much pool noodle showing. Now to hang this outside, I hung this off of some lights we have outside. You can hang this off of a rope, which I did last year. You can hang this off of a tall floral plot hanger clip. What am I trying to say? Hook. When I've made these before, I always get told add fairy lights, and I tend not to do it just so it doesn't get too complicated. I ended up adding some fairy lights to this chandelier. It is so magical. I have made these in the past, and this by far is my favorite one because these particular solar lights from Dollar Tree are so beautiful. They have such a bright light to them versus the other Dollar Tree solar lights. I make floral chandeliers every summer to go outside. They stay put even during really windy storms. They are so beautiful. We're going to be using the solar hook lanterns again. Now these actually come with the hook that you need to hang it outside. You just gotta put it together and then you're going to push that into the ground to hang the solar light lantern off of. I had this idea to make the inside of the lanterns look like little fairy gardens and little worlds. So you can go to Dollar Tree, go to the fairy garden section, and find pieces that will fit inside of the lanterns. You're also going to want to get some moss from Dollar Tree. So you're going to start by gluing your pieces of the fairy garden inside of the lantern and then putting the moss around those pieces you glued down. You want to glue them down so that way if you move the lantern around or if it gets windy outside, those pieces don't go flying around. I ended up making a bunch of different ones. I did little ones that had mushrooms and butterflies. The butterflies were just stickers that I got from Hobby Lobby, but you can find butterflies at Dollar Tree. It's just a matter of if you can find them. They have these really cool looking trees with faces at Dollar Tree that fit perfectly inside of these lanterns. There's two different ones to choose from. I think they look so nice and whimsical. At Hobby Lobby on clearance, I was also able to find these owls that fit perfectly inside of the lanterns. These are just so much fun. So I placed these outside. Cooper went outside and he was looking in every single one, having the time of his life. He actually took one and he keeps it in the car with him. How cool are these? And they're a conversation starter. It's not like you walk by them and you don't see all of the little items that are inside of the lanterns. They are noticeable. Tell me this isn't fun. It's just so cool. And I feel like you can make some really cool looking lanterns. And if you're like into something in particular, like I know Harry Potter's very big. I bet you can make each little lantern look like a different Harry Potter scene. Anyways, Dollar Tree also carries larger lanterns in the plus section that are solar light powered, and they're $5, and you can use those as well to make a little world. So that's what I did. I got some pieces from Dollar Tree from the Fairy Garden collection, and then some butterflies that I glued into there. It's just a different thing to do rather than the same old just plain lantern. I do have a really cool DIY I'm about to share with you guys that's using a solar light that's not from Dollar Tree. I'm going to include it in this video because I don't do non-Dollar Tree DIY videos. For this next DIY, you need at least 2 planters in 2 different sizes. Initially, I ended up using 3 of them. The 2 smaller ones are from Dollar Tree and the larger one is from Sam's Club. I got it for $15. I started off by putting a couple of inches of soil inside of the larger planter and then placed one of the Dollar Tree planters inside of the larger one upside down. When I get to a point where the soil is about to cover up the Dollar Tree planter, I glue on the next Dollar Tree planter, which is just going to be glued directly to the other one. Now I got some flowers, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to plant the flowers inside of the soil that's already inside of the planter. So this is supposed to be a fountain. What we're going to do is we're going to put water inside of one of the planters and use a solar fountain. This is the thing though. My brain doesn't work sometimes. I do have a toddler and a baby, and I'm always busy, so my brain is fried sometimes. When I glued these planters together, I just wasn't paying attention to the fact that these planters don't hold water. So I started to pour some water inside of the top planter thinking, okay, I'm done. No, the water was spilling out of the planter. So instead, I had to use 2 other planters from Dollar Tree that do not have holes at the bottom. So I just ended up repeating the process. I put some soil inside of that one planter and then placed a planter from Dollar Tree that cost $1.25 inside of the larger planter from Dollar Tree. Then I glued my next planter on top of the $1.25 one. This one is also from Dollar Tree and it's from the plus section. And then I filled this up with some more soil and flowers. This ended up being a blessing in disguise because I like it a lot better. Make sure whatever planter you're using to hold the water does not have holes. Okay, so at this point I was able to put the water inside of the top planter. The solar light is a solar fountain that I got from Amazon. They carry different ones. I got one that has color changing lights. It looks really cool at nighttime. So the way that this works is it comes with these little things that go and hook around the solar light, and then you get these straws that you're going to push into those things, and this is going to keep the solar light centered. There's a bunch of different nozzles that this comes with. You're just going to choose one that you like, and then you're going to place this inside of your planter and cut off any extra straw you do not need. Okay, so if this is in direct sunlight where it's not a cloudy day, the water will shoot up really high. So I actually prefer to keep this in an area that's a little bit more shaded because it's still going to shoot out, just not as high. And you need to remember, if you're going to be using a smaller planter like I did, water is going to get out, but it's going to go over the flowers that you have inside of there. If you keep it in an area that's a little bit more shaded, you're not going to have water shooting as high, and most of it will stay contained inside of the top planter. This is it at nighttime, really cool, and you can see most of the water is staying contained inside of that top planter. Like I said, if it's very sunny, it shoots up so high. For our next project, I'm going to be using the old school solar lights that Dollar Tree always has in. I'll be removing the solar light from the handle, and then remember you have to remove the tab to get the solar light to work. For this project, I'll also be using these fluted bowls from Dollar Tree as well as these punch bowls. You can use whatever bowls you like, I just think these have a nicer look to them. Now you're going to start gluing the bowls together. What you want to do, however, is glue solar lights inside of those bowls. I messed up, I wasn't thinking, and I was gluing bowls together, and then afterward I was like, wait, the solar lights. So the very top bowl was the one I got solar lights inside of, so I decided to glue 2 solar lights inside of there, one on the bottom fluted bowl and then one on the top fluted bowl, if that makes sense. However, when you're gluing your bowls together, make sure you're putting the solar lights. Don't do what I did. To fix my mistake, I flipped this over and glued a solar light to the very base of what it is that I'm making. And then I glued some solar lights to the back of the bowls to get this to glow the way that I wanted it to. Basically, I'm using this as a plant stand. Now, I recommend just putting fake plants inside of this. If you use real plants, you don't want to put anything too heavy inside of here. This is how it looks during the day, but the magic obviously is going to happen at night. This looks so pretty. It has such a nice glow, and I've had this outside for 5 days now, and I don't run into an issue with the solar lights not absorbing sunlight because the bowls are clear, so it's still able to get the sunlight that it needs. This is an easy hack. You can get a glass vase from Dollar Tree and some of their acrylic gems. Fill up the glass vase with a few of those acrylic gems, and then take your solar light and push it inside of the vase. Then continue putting gems or crystals inside of the vase. You're just going to have to move the solar light to the side to continue doing this. You cannot fill up your glass entirely with crystals initially and then try to push your solar light through. It won't work like that. Dollar Tree frequently carries lamps from this brand called Home Luminaire. I'm going to be using the lamp shade and gluing it on top of the solar light. This way I have a lamp for outside that is powered by solar light. That's it. And if you have a lamp that you want to use, you can go ahead and do that. All you have to do is use a solar light in place of a light bulb. Another simple thing you can do is get candlestick holders from Dollar Tree. They carry a bunch of different ones. All you're going to do is take your solar light, remove the top of it off of the stake, and then glue that inside of the candlestick holder. Yet again, another simple and easy hack. And what's nice about this is you can use this instead of using actual candles if you're having a party outside, like a garden tea party. Sometimes you don't really want flames going, so this is just something else that you can use instead of having the flames going. We're going to be using the solar hook lanterns again and a broomstick. I'm also going to be using this grapevine wire just because it does look like grapevine. I think it's going to give it a prettier look to this DIY. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the grapevine wire, wrap it around my broomstick, just twist it into place and then wrap it. And then I'm going to cut it and wrap that around my lanterns. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have different lengths of these grapevine wire and lanterns hanging off of the broomstick. You can use as many or as little lanterns as you want for this DIY, and you don't have to use this exact wire. You can just use a regular wire if you want to. I'm then going to cover the broomstick with the grapevine wire. I ended up using 2 rolls. You can always paint the broomstick brown, and you can use even tape over the broomstick, then paint it brown to give it more of a wooden look. I then got some ivy looking garland. I think I got this at Hobby Lobby years ago. I'm just going to wrap it around the broomstick. So this particular DIY I made for my son's pinwheel collection. In one of the corners of our backyard, he has a bunch of pinwheels, and I wanted to make it look like a magical pinwheel garden with some lights lighting it up at nighttime. So to hang this, you can use some garden hooks from Dollar Tree that you just push into the ground, and then you could hang the broomstick right off of it. Now the thing is, these are not too tall, so I didn't want to keep it like this. I just shared with you guys how you can hang it up using Dollar Tree products. You can also use Dollar Tree hooks and hook it onto your fence and then hang it off that way if you want to. So this is how it looks with it being a little bit shorter. To make this taller, I just got some taller garden hooks from Walmart and I just hung it off of that. So easy to do. It is so pretty. I just really wanted to make it super magical for Cooper over there. To cover up the ends, I found these little plant hangers at Dollar Tree. They hang off of planters, and I just used that to cover up the ends. And this is how it looks at nighttime. I put more solar lights back there, and it's just so magical at nighttime. It really lights up that one corner of our backyard. I really do like these particular lanterns from Dollar Tree. I'm telling you guys, they are really worth the money. This is a solar light hack I share every single year because it's one of the best and easiest ones to do using the Dollar Tree solar lights. All you have to do is get a broomstick from Dollar Tree and remove the handle off of it. Now you're going to take that broomstick and you're going to hammer it into the ground. You can push it into the ground if it's soft enough, but you want to make sure that it's deep inside of the ground so it doesn't blow over easily if it gets really windy outside. I just used a mallet to just hammer it down. Now you're going to take your solar light of choice. I thought these would look really pretty, and you're just going to put them right inside of the broomstick. The hole that you made there, you just drop it right inside, and that's all there is to this hack. Like I said, this is so easy to do, and that's why I share it time and time again. I will say though, these are probably the weakest solar lights I've ever bought from Dollar Tree. They don't give off the biggest light. It's a very light. So, I mean, if you don't want something like that, I would go with the tried and true regular solar lights that Dollar Tree carries.
Here's something simple you can do with the solar lights to bounce the light around. You're gonna pick up the clear acrylic gems from Dollar Tree. What you're gonna do is take the top off and then pour some of your gems inside of the solar light. Then you're just going to put the light right back on. You can clearly see the difference between these two solar lights. This is the one without the gems and this is the one with the gems. Now let's try it with the blue one. And here's the difference between the blue ones. This one doesn't have the gems, this one does have the gems.
I love how easy this hack is, and you can do this with solar lights you get somewhere else. I know solar lights at other stores tend to be brighter, but if you use this method, you can make them even brighter. I decided to also do this with these glass containers I got from Dollar Tree. I like to use solar lights inside of the glass containers because then I don't have to light a candle every single time I'm outside or put on fairy lights. It's easy to just have the solar lights inside of there. But inside of one of them, I added some gems and marbles from Dollar Tree, and you can clearly see the difference. The one on the right is just so much more vibrant. There's absolutely no skill required to do something like this, which I love. If you're trying to take the glowing to an extreme, you can put fairy lights inside of the solar lights. I like these ones from Amazon because the pack fits inside of the solar light versus the Dollar Tree pack, which you see here, that doesn't fit inside of the solar light. This is something you only want to do on a special occasion, otherwise you're stuck going outside turning every fairy light on individually. So do this when you're having a party or people over and really make your solar lights glow. It's not hard to tell on video which solar lights have the fairy lights inside of them. There is a clear difference. This DIY is easy and adorable. Pick up some crates from Dollar Tree. I'm going to be using 4. I removed the bottom off of 2 of my crates. To do this, I just push the bottom out. Sometimes this can be hard to do, so get a flathead screwdriver and start to pop the wood off. Once I have that done, I glue my 4 crates together. The 2 that have the bottoms still inside of them, I have at the bottom, and then the ones that don't have the bottoms anymore are at the top. So this way, I'm making deeper crates. Then I'm going to go ahead and stain my wood. To do this, I'm actually using these furniture markers from Dollar Tree. I'm using the one that is called maple, and then I ended up having to use one of the ones that's called oak. I used oak along with some paint in the inside of my crates because my maple pen had ran out of ink. Next up, I'm using this framed chalkboard sign that I got from Dollar Tree. I'm putting on these decals I cut out with my Cricut. You can always freehand this if you like. Once I had those down, I took my oak furniture marker and I stained the wood using that. I then go ahead and glue this to the front of my crates. Now where the solar lights come into play for this DIY, I'm going to be painting the inside of my solar lights with a mixture of acrylic paint and Mod Podge. I don't want to paint the inside of the solar lights with just the acrylic paint. I want it to be watered down because if I just go with an opaque paint, you won't be able to see the light in the inside of the solar light. So you want to still be able to see through this. To have that happen, I use Mod Podge. I'm going to be painting some faces on the front of this. Make sure you're going to be using an outdoor paint. If you do this, I got the outdoor paint from Walmart. It's an indoor outdoor paint by Apple Barrel. So I go ahead, paint on these little marshmallow faces. They're very popular to do and really easy. I did the faces and then I did some fudge at the top of this. Again, make sure you're using an outdoor paint. I recommend sealing the acrylic paint with some outdoor Mod Podge. It's meant for the outdoors. I just didn't have any on hand. I also did a fairy light with some orange color in the inside, so it was an orange acrylic paint and Mod Podge, and then I did some flames on the outside of it because I wanted it to look like a fire. Now for this particular light, I did paint it orange because I didn't want it to glow with that cool white color in the inside. I wanted it to remain orange, so I did a layer of that Mod Podge acrylic paint on it. Now let's set this all up. I put my solar lights inside of there. I added those marshmallow holders. I don't even know what they're called exactly. I did some chocolate and the marshmallows. I would actually individually wrap the marshmallows if I was actually having people over, but this is all for me. Hence why I'm touching the marshmallows with my bare hands, because I actually ate them all after filming this. I love marshmallows. This is absolutely adorable, you guys. I love how this turned out. I actually forgot to put some graham crackers, so I threw those in. Dollar Tree carries these light bulb fairy solar lights, and what I decided to do was get the terrarium light bulbs from Dollar Tree. I'm going to be using the top of these solar lights on these terrariums, so that way I can make the terrariums glow outside again without using electricity or batteries. What I decided to place inside of my terrariums were some of the reindeer moss from Dollar Tree. You can get this and use it in multiple terrariums with just one pack. And then I also got the succulents from Dollar Tree. If you want to use real succulents, you can go ahead and do that. I did cut them up a bit to make them a little bit smaller to fit the inside of my terrariums nicely. I wish the cap to the fairy lights just twisted right on top of the terrarium. It does not, so I had to glue it on instead. I decided to make some terrariums out of the round terrariums that Dollar Tree carries. This time around I used crushed glass, and I did things differently this time. I took some of the caps off of these other solar lights that I have, and I placed them in the back of the terrarium so that they're still getting sunlight. I have them upward, but I'm using my succulents to hide them in place, and that way I can still have the terrarium look like the way it does instead of gluing it on top of there and then it ends up looking funny. These are just really pretty and easy to make, and what I love is when the sun goes down, these automatically start glowing without you having to turn on a bunch of little fairy lights.
So that's it for the video. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know your favorite DIY down in the comments below. Mine is the fountain and the solar lights with the little like fairy gardens. Anyways, with that being said, I'll see you next time. Take care. Bye.